In Afghanistan, a sapper patrol moves out to repair a convoy that has broken down on the road. As soon as they arrive, the combat engineer steps out of the vehicle, clearly frustrated. He shouts, demanding to know who is responsible for the mistake that ruined his entire day. The squad leader steps forward and calmly admits that it was his decision. At that moment, it becomes obvious that the two soldiers are actually brothers. The older brother starts explaining what went wrong, turning it into a lesson on basic science. He talks about thermodynamics, saying that energy cannot be created or destroyed, it can only move somewhere else. By pouring stop leak into the convoy trucks, the vents were blocked, causing heat to build up until the radiator finally exploded. He jokes that he knew only his brother could come up with an idea like dumping stop leak into the engine. The younger brother sighs and admits that this is not what he truly wants to be doing with his life. He reminds his brother of the dream they once shared, to be selected for RASP. He even shows the matching tattoos they got, both reading, "Don't quit." The older brother laughs it off, saying he is already too old and that the program is extremely hardcore. He also reminds him that they were only 18 when they made that promise. Still, the younger brother asks him to imagine what it would feel like to earn their own Ranger scrolls and the pride that comes with becoming a Ranger. After some hesitation, he finally convinces him. But just moments later, everything changes. The Taliban suddenly launch a surprise attack on the convoy. A brutal firefight breaks out, and almost the entire unit is wiped out. With his knee badly injured, he drags himself across the battlefield, desperately trying to reach his brother. 2 years later, he is seen riding a bus toward the Army Ranger Selection Base in Colorado. Upon arrival, the cadre order all candidates to report to the induction hall and hand over every personal item they have. From this moment on, they are told they no longer have names, only numbers. One sergeant notices that a candidate is a technical sergeant from the Air Force and assigns him as a team leader. The candidate acknowledges the order and is given the number 7. In another line, a sergeant reviews an application and points out that due to a past leg injury, one candidate had been rejected 4 times before finally meeting the age cutoff. He explains that as a patrol leader, the candidate would be expected to lead others, but the offer is declined. He is assigned the number 81. Sergeant Major Sheridan then addresses the group. He explains that Army Rangers are the spearhead of the United States Army, the first soldiers sent into combat zones. He makes it clear that RASP is one of the toughest selection programs in the world, designed to push candidates to their mental, emotional, and physical limits over 8 exhausting weeks. Only those who reach the final phase will face the 24-hour death march, and only after crossing that finish line can they earn the Ranger Scroll. With that, the program officially begins. During the first week, several candidates are eliminated. The next 3 weeks are filled with punishing obstacle courses and relentless drills. Anyone who fails to meet the standards is immediately removed from the program. Now, only 4 weeks remain. During one of the long marches, Candidate 15 tells the others that if they make it into the regiment, they will gain access to top-secret information, including Area 51 and even hidden truths about the moon landing. The others laugh and brush off the idea. Meanwhile, 81 quietly breaks away from the group, completes his lap alone, and then returns. Another week passes. During rifle training, a sergeant asks how many candidates have actually deployed in combat. When one gives an unclear response, the sergeant mocks him, saying he asked about deployment, not potty training. After questioning several others without a solid answer, the sergeant turns to 81. Death Mountain Division Spartans. Everyone turns to look at him. Later, during lunch, 44 explains to the group that 81 was repairing a stranded convoy when the Taliban suddenly launched a devastating attack that wiped out the entire unit. Candidate 60 adds that 81 was also awarded a Silver Star. Nearby, a television broadcasts breaking news. A reporter announces that NASA has detected an interstellar object coming from outside the solar system. The object is expected to pass near Earth, but officials claim there is no threat. Candidate 15 is stunned that 81 received a Silver Star. Candidate 44 explains that he was the only survivor and carried his injured brother nearly 10 miles back to a military base. Wanting confirmation, 15 directly asks 81 about the story. What happened? A sergeant immediately notices the conversation and sharply reminds them that talking is not allowed as punishment. The cadre assigns everyone additional hill climbs. Over the next 2 weeks, the training becomes even more intense. During one exercise, a cadre member asks the candidates why they are here. Most of them respond that they want to join an elite unit. When it is 81's turn, he gives a different answer. He calmly says that he is here to cross the finish line. That night, 7 notices 81 quietly taking medication for PTSD. The following morning, 7 asks if DFQ means, "Don't quit." 81 looks surprised and asks how he knows. 7 shrugs and says it was just a guess. By week 6, the remaining candidates face rope climbs, breaching drills, and advanced rifle training. Many fail and are immediately removed from the program. One night, 81 is shaken awake by a vivid nightmare. Moments later, a sergeant storms into the barracks, ordering everyone to get up and announcing that the final week has begun. The next challenge takes place in a pool. The candidates are required to walk underwater while carrying heavy weights. Many surface early and fail the test. As 81 struggles beneath the water, his thoughts drift to his younger brother. That memory drives him forward, but eventually he loses consciousness. 7 pulls him out just in time. Afterward, Sheridan tells First Sergeant Torres that he wants to speak with 81, stating that the candidate may be a liability. While waiting, 81 watches the news on television. A reporter explains that the asteroid discovered a month earlier is now showing signs of structural fragmentation. He is then called into the room. Sheridan tells 81 that it might be best for him to retire from the program. 81 argues that he has not failed a single event. Torres explains that they are not concerned about his physical abilities, but about what is happening inside his mind. He says the cadre officers reported that 81 is not sleeping well. According to peer evaluations, he is not bonding with the other candidates. Torres adds that 81 avoids every opportunity to lead, which he says is not the mark of a stable candidate. Stable candidate from the course, effective immediate. Sheridan steps in and says that what 81 experienced would be overwhelming for anyone. He explains that most people would have taken time off and sought therapy. Instead, after the incident in Afghanistan, 81 began applying for this program on the very morning of his discharge. 81 quietly repeats that he only wants to cross the finish line. Sheridan tells him that both he and Torres believe he is a strong candidate. However, he warns that if they remove him now, he will never be allowed to return. He places a voluntary withdrawal slip on the table. Sheridan reminds him that as an engineer, he should understand that even the most powerful machine has limits, and that he has reached his point. 81 refuses to quit. Only a small number of candidates, including 81, advance to the final round. Torres briefs them on the last mission, which will be a full-scale simulation. A classified aircraft has been shot down behind enemy lines. The Rangers are tasked with conducting reconnaissance and destroying the aircraft before it falls into enemy hands. 2 Black Hawk helicopters will insert them deep into enemy territory. From there, they must navigate the mountains to reach the crash site. Their next objective is to locate the pilot, who is being held captive in a nearby village. Torres explains that their rifles will fire blanks, but the cadre may ambush them at any time. The team will carry a single VHF radio and must send regular situation reports. He then announces that 81 will be the team leader. Candidate 15 responds sarcastically, "Great, the finish line guy." Torres reminds them that they have 24 hours to rescue the pilot, return to base, and cross the finish line. If they fail or are captured during a cadre ambush, the mission is over. Sheridan adds that if they successfully cross the finish line, they will earn their Ranger Scrolls. The death march officially begins. The Blackhawks insert the team deep into the Rocky Mountains. After landing, the group regathers and moves into the forest. Candidate 57 studies the map and tells the team that their objective is roughly 20 clicks to the west. 81 sets his watch to 24 hours and looks at the team. Any questions? No one speaks. Then 7 stands up and tells the group that everyone is here for a reason, and that their shared goal is to earn their Ranger Scrolls together. 81 nods in appreciation and the team resumes their movement. They climb a steep, rocky mountain and eventually reach the summit. As the evening fades, night slowly takes over. Candidate 111 sends a situation report to the cadre over the radio. 7 suggests they take a short rest, pointing out that the cadre may be waiting near the river for an ambush. 81 agrees but limits the rest to 20 minutes. While the others sleep, 81 stays awake on guard. 7 asks if he can ask a personal question. 81 responds simply, "No." Suddenly, flares light up the sky. The team assumes the cadre noticed them stopping. 81 immediately orders everyone to move up. They finally spot the wreckage of the downed aircraft. 7 jokes that the cadre really went all out with the special effects. 81 warns that the cadre are likely positioned upstream, waiting to ambush them. He orders 111 to send another situation report, then quickly outlines the plan. The demolition team will plant explosives on the aircraft and detonate them from a safe distance. The blast should draw the cadre's attention. He assigns 4 soldiers to overwatch, positions 3 soldiers downstream, and places the remaining team upstream. Then 57 notices something off. According to the mission briefing, the coordinates are off by several hundred meters. He also mentions that his compass has started behaving strangely. 101 reports that he cannot get a proper signal, only a strange noise. Despite the concerns, the team proceeds with the plan as everyone moves into position. 81 notices a brief flash of light in the distance. He silently signals to 7 that he is going to investigate. While the demolition team prepares the explosives, 81 moves deeper into the forest. Moments later, he discovers what appears to be the real target. But it is already too late. The explosives are detonated. 81 runs back toward the team. Didn't even leave a dent. Suddenly, a massive machine rises from concealment, its red lights glowing. Bright beams scan their faces. Without warning, it opens fire, killing several soldiers instantly. 81 orders everyone to run. They sprint through the forest but hit a dead end. The machine launches a bomb that explodes nearby, sending the remaining soldiers tumbling down a steep slope. Several are injured. For a brief moment, 81 flashes back to Afghanistan, but he forces himself to stay focused. He rushes to 57, who has been impaled by a tree branch. 109 panics, saying the wound looks severe, but 81 tells him to breathe and stay focused. During the fall, 7's leg is badly injured. The survivors stare in shock at the machine that has just wiped out half their team. 81 asks if the demolition team survived. They say no. He moves carefully through the smoking wreckage, searching for the radio. He finds 111 dead, and the radio completely destroyed. Moments later, he watches the machine kill another soldier. 81 returns to the group and urgently tells them they must move. The machine can track their trail. He informs them that 111 is dead and the radio is gone. They secure a rope and begin lowering themselves down a cliff one by one. 6 volunteers to lower 7. 81 nods, then climbs down. As 7 is being lowered, the machine locates them again. It fires, killing 6. Seven crashes hard onto the ground below. The machine moves to the edge of the cliff and scans the area. 7's injured leg is detected. It opens fire, forcing the remaining soldiers to scatter and hide. Moments later, multiple bombs detonate around them, killing even more of the team. After hours of moving on foot, the survivors finally stop to rest. When 81 notices blood on 7's leg, he panics briefly. 7 reassures him and asks 109 for morphine. The container was damaged during the fall. With no other option, 81 counts to 3 and snaps the leg back into place. The pain is overwhelming, and 7 passes out. 15 suggests that the machine's weapons look extremely advanced and speculates that it could be a secret DARPA experiment. 44 shuts him down immediately, saying the Department of Defense would never do this to their own soldiers and tells him to stop with conspiracy theories. 15 fires back, asking why they were sent directly into the machine's location. At that point, 81 reveals the truth. Earlier, He spotted the real crash site, an old jet, just as 57 suspected. The coordinates were way off, few hundred meters. 81 explains that the machine must be generating a powerful magnetic field. That would explain why their compasses started malfunctioning whenever it was nearby. He tells the team they need to move toward the village, located 8 clicks to the west. 15 pushes back, saying there is no rasp anymore and no finish line left. 81 calmly responds that with no communications, no working weapons, and no flares, their only possible help is the cadre unit stationed in that village. About an hour later, they reach a wide river with a dangerously strong current. 81 tells the team they will need to use their ropes to set up a zip line across. He decides to cross first so he can secure the line on the far side. Before going, he tells 109 to monitor the compass. He then asks 44 to hand him the rope and leave some slack, knowing the current will push him hard. 81 fights through the rushing water and briefly disappears beneath the surface. Moments later, he emerges on the opposite bank. He secures the rope, and soon the team completes the zip line setup. 7 and 15 begin crossing first. Halfway across, 7 becomes stuck in the middle. As 15 tries to fix the line, he accidentally unhooks 7's safety strap. Seeing this, 81 immediately moves across to help. 44 rushes in as well. That exact moment, the machine appears and opens fire. The soldiers lose their footing and fall into the raging river. The machine steps into the water and continues attacking.